Alright, BobalosRex here, and it's Phase 5, Legion Remix, and I'm going to tell y'all what's new. But let's go over the the WoW news post first, because this sums it up pretty well. I'll share this in the description, of course. So, we are now in the Infinite Echoes update, okay? So let's go over all this stuff. So, there's going to be a new upgrade currency replacing Motes of Broken Time. You can, any of your old stuff, you can turn into infinite power or do something better. I'm going to tell you in a second with. But yeah, basically, we're going to be getting this new currency and gear drops now from the research and raids. And this new currency will scale all the way up to 779. So we finally got an item level increase in Legion Remix. And the new item level is 779. Next, we got Eris Scrapping Service. So basically, this allows for the conversion of motes and threads into fragmented mementos, which is used to get artifact power. So you can turn motes or threads into infinite power, but you can also do something else with them, which I'm going to tell you in a second. Then we got Time Runner's Mayhem, which as you do research tasks, you'll get a stacking buff. It gives you more XP from killing monsters and completing quests. It stacks up to 10 times, so that would be a total of 30%. So you'll have the 400% and this 30% if you do research tasks on your alts if you're still leveling. So that will be the quicker way to level, it seems, now, doing these tasks and doing your order haul. But the 400% experience bonus didn't get increased at all. Alright, so those EXP things still don't matter to us. But now when you do research tasks, if you are capped on EXP, you'll get another little goodie bag instead. So that's good. I'll show you that in a second too. Then we got some new quests for Moritari. You got the farewell quests. So one will have you go out and beat Infernos, the new Infernos that I'm going to tell you all about down here. And then the other quest is basically say goodbye to all the infinites. And I kind of like it. I think it's kind of cool. So you can do those quests. Then we got farewell to the infinites event. So there's a bonfire here. As you kill the Infernos, you get a pamphlet. You put the pamphlet into the bonfire. And you get to pick a message that shouts out to the entire server. All of Legion Remix. So you can do that. It's very reminiscent of the Nezuro with messages. Alright. Then we got the Lost Legion Infernos. So these are basically Infernos that pop up all over in the zone you're in. Whatever zone you're in, you'll see when they pop up. They basically work like little world bosses. Alright. They drop infinite power. They drop gear. So they are kind of good. Now, more world bosses. So 6 bosses appear now every 18 hours in the Broken Isles, each with unique rewards. It says unique rewards. It's the same stuff. It's the same stuff. So today we had Withered Gem up, we had Levantis, we had Sharthos up, and then we also got Drugon and Soul Takers up. All right, so I already killed the other ones, and then you also got to include the Broken Shore world boss and the Greater Invasion. So there are world bosses up all the time now. So if you need to get caught up on the Broken Shore, on the Broken Isles world bosses, it's a lot easier to do for the achievements. Next up, we got increased loot and obelisk. The more frequent loot drops, I can confirm. I've been getting tons of the threads, which you use to upgrade, obelisk, and upgrade opportunities. So I'll link this post so y'all can look at it. But here, let me show you how it's going down in game. So first off, there's no new items on the vendors. Well, technically, these 2 items right here, these illusions, were added last night in a hotfix. So these illusions are now on the vendor if you were missing these. But there's no other new items on these vendors other than the housing items we got last week. So Dormilius still has all the housing items he has. If you didn't get those yet. And then as far as the other vendors, there's nothing new. All right. But like I said, gear can go higher. And there's a trick. So, if you have a ton of these motes of broken time, right? And you have maxed infinite power. If you don't need infinite power, what you can do with these motes, okay, is you turn them into gear. And you may be like, why would I turn them into gear now? These won't turn into the new item level of gear, but you break them down and you get tons of the thread. So if you have a ton of motes and you're maxed out on power and you need the new item levels, you take the motes, turn them into armor, scrap the armor, you'll get threads, then you use the threads and get the higher item level pieces. Alright? You understand? I think I was clear with that. If not, you can ask me questions in the description. But yeah, basically, convert motes to gear, to scrap that gear, to get the higher item level threads, to get the higher item level gear. Alright? If not, you can go to Eris here. Alright, and turn threads and motes into fragmented mementos of epic challenge. I'm sad I'm stuck at 7 because you don't get these anymore. So I'm just stuck at 7. And yeah, I can't do nothing with that. But yeah, and then you get the new threads. These drop all over the place, and I've played for like an hour, and I've already bumped my item level up to 765. So the gear comes really quick. Of course, you'll get more sand for your weapons to upgrade that. And that's the main thing. Then, like I said, you got the world bosses up all over the place. You got the infernos. You got the little quest line. And that's it for the phase. I have yet to get that feat of strength for logging in. So I don't know how you get the Raining Inferno's feat of strength at the moment. Maybe it's bugged, and I'll let y'all know if there are any more changes. But that's it so far. It's a good farewell. It's I like the item level increase. It's not a big deal unless you still got stuff to finish. And with the amount of like threads, it is easier to catch up. It is easier to get power if you are still trying to play catch up, even though it's higher item level. But yeah, that's it for Phase 5. I had a good time with Legion Remix. I still got some stuff to finish up. And this update, I think, is going to make it a little bit easier, like I thought. And we'll have to see if they add anything else over the coming days. Anyways, thank y'all for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.